I listened to what you said. You said I needed to get out of Cape Town if I wanted to see the real South Africa. So I did. I'm here in Soweto. Is this the real South Africa? I guess we have to find out. Johannesburg, South Africa. People call it Joburg or Josie. As I look around, I can't help but wonder in awe of this sprawling metropolis, which reminds me more of New York City than it does Cape Town. Just an hour outside of the city is the cradle of humankind, the origin of our civilization. Fast forward about 1 million years, civilization seems to be doing fine, despite some challenges. The thing is, there are two Johannesburgs. In the north, you have places like Sandton and Rosebank, where Joburg's affluent reside. The shopping malls and modern design here are virtually indistinguishable from what you see in America. It's the type of place where you'll find Bitcoin ATM machines and people waiting in lines outside of the Gucci store. But if you aren't in these affluent areas, you'll find the everyday South African people who are working to sustain their way of life. I wanted to go to the heartbeat of Johannesburg and hear the stories that people had to tell. So we're going on a walking tour into Hillbrow, an inner city neighborhood which, let's just say, an outsider like me probably shouldn't visit alone. We're here with Fiso, a team leader at Lalanje, a local organization that runs after-school programs for youth.
Okay, hi guys, my name is Fiso and I'm a tour guide for Lalanje. So Lalanje is a Zulu word which means just play. So let kids to come into this space and just be themselves and play. Create a safe space for them. They just be themselves each and every day, So just trying to give the young kids opportunity where they can use a free Wi-Fi, get help with homework, and most of the small things that kids need. Cheers, man.
The walking tour takes us to Hillbrow, Yeoville, and Berea. In the 1970s, these streets were the bustling, cosmopolitan center of life in Johannesburg. But from population growth, destability from the end of apartheid, and a mass exodus, these streets have become stomping grounds for crime and poverty. And that's not to say that there aren't communities of people living here doing what's best for their families. So you were saying that this area used to be very, quite cosmopolitan. So what caused the change?
What do you think changed? Imagine a place like Sandton, and then waking up, and then it's a no-go area. There is high crime, drugs, hijack building. What will change? This was Sandton in the 70s, 80s.
During apartheid?
During apartheid, yeah. It's all about the decision that the government takes, It may be democracy, but then still there are decisions that affect everyone.
I have even more questions about this place than when we started the tour. It seems that people are still going about their lives here and making the best of their situation. That seems to be a common theme of the ever-changing city that is Johannesburg. Few places embody the evolution of the Johannesburg inner city more than Ponte City. It began as an ambitious apartment project for the white minority in the 70s, but quickly became overridden with gang activity and poverty, and was once even considered a slum. Now, it's refurbished and safe, overlooking the city. We just finished up the tour of the Hillbrow neighborhood. The most fascinating thing is seeing how the neighborhood has transformed over the years, for better or for worse. But I think the important thing to see is that this process is not complete. It's an ongoing change. I said it before, and I'll say it again. A very important part of the South African story is here in Johannesburg. Our time in Johannesburg is almost over, but there's one more place that we have to visit. Soweto, arguably the most famous community in all of South Africa. The area has grown into a full-blown suburb with more than 4 million residents. It's a place where people can create a life for themselves in African suburbia. In 1904, the bubonic plague hit Johannesburg, and the government officials used this as a reason to move lots of black people out of the city. Soweto was created. Over the next 100 years, Soweto went through cycles of construction, destruction, and also saw the beginning and end of apartheid. Now, it's debatably the biggest township in the Southern Hemisphere. It has its share of history of anti-apartheid struggles, famously known as a location of the Soweto uprising, where hundreds of school children were killed by South African police. Coming to you live from Label's Backpackers Lodge, where we'll be staying for a couple of days. They have home-cooked meals, they have walking tours, bicycle tours, cooking tours. Very informative for if you want to stay in Soweto and you want to get to actually see the community. Amazing lodge to stay in. Highly recommend. I'll leave a link down below. So we're very excited. We have a cooking tour and a bicycle tour coming up. So we're out here doing a tour of the Label's gardens. So let's keep going. Philae is taking us on a tour of a locally sourced aquaponics system. It's 1 part aquaculture, 1 part hydroponics, meaning the fish farm generates the fertilizer used to grow organic produce that is sold to the local community.
This acts like a filter. So the fish waste will stay here and the rich water will go to the roots. We are a very scarce water country. So this kind of projects, they can actually help fight food scarcity and poverty. Organic food is quite expensive, so we try to give it to people at an affordable price and also push health issues there and healthy eating.
These facilities are a product of the collaboration between the city of Johannesburg and InMed, which aims to address unemployment, food insecurity, health challenges, and more through urban farming. After touring the aquaponics facility, we actually get to pick the produce that we will cook and eat. We're out here in Soweto. We just got some cabbage. I'm here with my boy Philae. Philae, where you at?
Yeah, man.
We just saw the aquaponics system.
Yeah.
So this cabbage was actually made with this system. And now we're gonna go back and pick some more food and maybe cook a little bit.
Cook a bit.
Away. As we were exploring Soweto today, everyone greeted us with an open mind. And everyone was so friendly and everyone was so kind to us. People here are extremely open-minded, even to foreigners like me. Amazing vibes from Soweto, amazing vibes. The sun's going down on this beautiful neighborhood, but I'll never forget the way it feels to be here. And YouTube, you were right. Until I came here, I don't feel like I had really seen South Africa. And there is a big difference between life here and life in Cape Town. But amidst it all, I continue to ask myself, 28 years after apartheid has ended, what has really changed? In Johannesburg, more than anywhere else, particularly in Soweto, I feel a sense of hopefulness, of working toward a better future.